Okay, let's see how this works out. Let's see how this works out. In Ecuador, especially where I am, which we're in a city, right? We're in a city on the coast. I live in a neighborhood, and in this neighborhood, this barrio, it's loud. It's very loud. So why is it loud? When is it loud? It's loud all the time. No, it's not loud all the time. It is loud most of the time. And what kind of loud are we talking about? Well, you have a lot of street dogs. Okay, there's a lot of street dogs, a lot of street cats. Street cats generally don't make a lot of noise until they're fighting or in heat or something like that. But street dogs, they will run around in packs. They will bark, bark, bark. They will howl. They will do crazy stuff all night long. All night long. We're lucky in that our house is kind of sheltered from this, and I don't hear a lot of it. Like, I can hear it, but it definitely doesn't keep me awake at night. It used to, but it doesn't anymore. Now I'm going native, right? They just tune it right out. The other thing is, not in our neighborhood, but in neighborhoods near ours, you're not really allowed to have chickens and roosters and sheep and goats and stuff like that. It doesn't mean that people don't. They absolutely do. And several times I've been riding through another neighborhood early in the morning on my bike, and I will hear just a rooster just going and going and going and going. And it's like, oh man, that would drive me crazy. Again, thank goodness for concrete block construction of homes, because otherwise I think that guy's neighbors they'd probably be killing that rooster and eating him. So anyway, where else do we have noise? So early in the morning, it tends to be the absolute quietest, because the buses aren't running all night long. They're not running super early in the morning. But as soon as the buses start running, which is maybe around 6 a.m. or so, yeah, that's when the traffic noise just goes from 0 to hero. I mean, crazy loud. Because none of these buses are, well, I don't want to say none, that's not true, but many of these buses are not in good repair. I can tell you that because several times they have dumped their entire undercarriage right outside of my house and had to come and get it towed and have someone fix it and clean up a giant transmission fluid puddle, stuff like that. But they're not in the greatest repair, and their brakes sound awful, and their engines sound awful, and everything about them sounds awful. It's just so loud, and they are one bus after another bus after another bus after another bus. And every once in a while it's really loud because they run into a wall, or they run into a car, or they run into a car and a wall, or something like that. There's a lot of bus accidents here. But by far, the most incredible amount of sound comes from party time. Party time is every Ecuadorian, and I don't know if they're issued at birth. I guess they go and buy them, but they all have giant speakers. Like, even if they're a very poor family and they're living 10 people to a room or something like that, for some reason, they've also got a giant speaker, okay? And they will play whatever music they can at the highest level possible, even to the point of such distortion that you can't really understand the music at all. They do this at church too. Like, I've seen little kids sitting next to these 5-foot tall speakers, and the sound is so loud, it's like you can see it moving their hair, and they fall asleep. Like, they're so used to it. And I know this sounds totally insane and ridiculous, but it's absolutely true. You can ask any other expat. This is absolutely true. So they all have these giant speakers, and like, I've got a neighbor, he loves karaoke. A lot of people here love karaoke. I love karaoke. And he will play, starting Wednesday night, he will do karaoke 24 hours a day, from Wednesday to Thursday to Friday to Saturday until Sunday at around 4 a.m. Around 4 a.m. on Sunday, he goes to bed. But during all that other time, it is song after song after song after song, loud as he can go. That thing's turned up so I don't even know if he's singing in English or Spanish or French. It does. No one can tell because it's so bad. And once again, when I first moved here, that was super bothered me. I'm like, what is up with this guy? And now, it's just like, it's the sound of everything is right with the neighborhood. I know that sounds ridiculous as well, but it is. It's, this is the natural sound of the neighborhood, because when we were having trouble with crime and we were having apagones, you didn't hear it. And so in my brain, it started meshing together. And by the way, apagones are blackouts. And when you have blackouts at night, that is the best time for thieves to come and steal all your crap. Okay? So when you hear it, when I'm hearing this guy Wednesday afternoon start this thing up, to me, I feel good. It's like a little hug. It's a little hug saying, hey, everything's okay. Everything's normal right now, because that guy is going to be singing for the next 4 days freaking straight. And because it doesn't disturb my sleep, I'm okay with it. I just kind of like, hey, and today is Wednesday. But so Wednesday, this afternoon, it's going to kick in and I'm going to be like, only 2 more days to the weekend, right? Because I know it's the Wednesday afternoon because he's over there singing. So, but yeah, I mean, and if you've got 3 guys standing next to each other with speakers, they will all play a different song, and they will all play it as loud as they can. This happens on the beach. Happens on the beach a lot. The music on the beach is terrible. It's terrible because this guy's playing something, this guy's playing something, this guy's playing something, and they all got big speakers and they're turning it up. And then there's always the guy walking by carrying a speaker, right? Because they're battery operated. He's carrying a speaker with yet another song on it. Or beyond that, there's a guy walking around trying to make money by singing songs for you with a speaker. And you know what? It's not just Ecuador this happens in. Like, I've talked to people in other Latin countries and even in the Caribbean. This happens all the time. They love ultra loud stuff. Ultra loud to the point of zero quality. You know what I mean? It is just like, they're like, oh, that's the best. That's my favorite sound, is when the music doesn't even sound like music anymore. So, I don't do that. I tend to use my speaker. Yes, I have a speaker. I know, I'm going totally native. I use my speaker very nicely. I keep it at such a level that you can understand everything. It is crisp and clear. And my speaker's got lights on it. They love lights. The lights are cool. The lights are very cool. And the funny thing is too, is I take it with me when we go to certain parties at certain people's houses, and we're doing karaoke and stuff. And I got these street dogs that I have an agreement with. I feed them, they hang around, they protect the property. And I wish I had a taller wall, but they are almost just as effective because they are both rather scary. They look awful. They got scars all over them. They're absolutely wonderful animals, and they absolutely are vicious toward people they don't know. I'm good with that. I'm okay with it. It's a good deal. Most street dogs are not like that. They're not super vicious. They're usually too docile. But these two have been through some shit. So they're a little bit more vicious. And so anyway, they usually stay on the property, and we go to a neighbor's house and we're doing karaoke out on the patio, and they hear me, right? It's loud enough that they can hear me singing. They come and lay at the door. And that's when I realized that they are no longer street dogs. These are my dogs now. I keep telling my wife, these are not my dogs. I don't own these dogs. We have a contract going on, security for food. But at this point, I think I've got to say that, maybe now I sort of own these dogs. And that's okay. I've already been doing all the ownership stuff. I can't get them to agree to go to the vet. We've talked about it, but the dogs are like, look, I don't speak English. And they're not interested. But I was able to get them the little flea pills so that they can eat that. And it's like 90 days. It kills all the fleas and ticks and everything. I don't know how good it is for them, but it's better than being covered in ticks like some of these dogs. They're just like, you can watch them just like freaking get drained of all their life force because of all these ticks and and fleas and stuff. But these two, they're doing really well. All their wounds have healed up. They're doing good. They've gained weight. They're not all skin and bones. They're still slim. I don't like making my dogs fat. They're not my dogs, but they're still slim. But anyway, this is all about the noise. This was what that video was about. There's noise everywhere. It is all the time. It is worse in larger cities. Fortunately, here we're kind of surrounded by, we have a couple of parks nearby, and that lessens the sound a little bit. But I've been in other areas where it is deafening. Like I'm trying to talk to somebody through a gate and you can't even hear that. It's crazy. And some people will never get used to it. You'll never get used to it, and but it's something to think about if you're going to come here. Are you able to adapt? You know what I forgot to say? This is very important, because this is actually the thing that bugs me, that I still haven't gotten used to, that I can say happens every single day, multiple times a day, and that is the use of alarms. People have alarms on their motorcycles. They have them on their scooters. They have them on their houses. They have them on the walls around their houses. They have alarms upon alarms upon alarms, and most of the time they go off for no good reason. Like there's absolutely no reason for them to have gone off, and when the alarm goes off, it'll just go on and on and on, and nobody is worried about it. I have many neighbors who say, "Oh no, the alarm works great. If a ladrona, if a thief jumps my wall and the alarm goes off, it works awesome. It drives them away." I don't believe this. I don't believe this because, like, they're going off all the time. I mean, does anybody really care about it? I don't know. Leave a comment below if you know if these alarms are actually doing anything, because I feel like all they're doing is making a lot of noise, and people are so used to it they don't even care anymore. And I think everything in Ecuador is about, are you able to adapt? How quickly are you able to adapt? Are you able to adapt before you give up? So far, I've been able to adapt. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. Just some noise. Leave a comment if you want to talk about it, and let me know. Talk to you later.